Hi, this is Creative Hair Diva, and I am doing a review on Married to Medicine Reunion Part 1 and Part 2. I just want to, actually everybody, this is my first video as far as doing a commentary on the show. I have a video up of doing the sew-in closure because I am Creative Hair Diva, fairly new to the hair game, so I will be putting up videos in the future more so about hair, my review on different wigs, hair as far as sew-in, weave hair, things of that nature. But right now I want to take this moment to talk about Married to Medicine Reunion Part 1 and Part 2. Let's dive right in. I really liked the reunion. The show was very slow. I think it had maybe 5 or 6 episodes. The show was really slow. What picked it up for me was the fight. Okay, I know that sounds really, really funny, but the fight is what did it for me. And so I kept watching. Up to that point, like I said before, the show was really slow moving, not a lot going on. Then we have the fight. Okay, now we're finally getting into something here. What I didn't like and what we see in the reunion Part 1 and Part 2 is that Mariah just won't let it go. Toya has apologized, so you say. You say you have forgiven her. It doesn't look like it. Even Andy Cohen, and I love Andy Cohen, by the way, because I like the way he conducts his forum. I like the way he throws the shade. That's the saying that everybody uses nowadays. I'm sure it's been out before, but I hear it more so now than I ever have before. He's very good at what he does. Much better than Wendy Williams, who is a shade thrower. Andy has his way of doing things. And I thought the shade that he threw at Sheree Whitfield on What Happens Live was it's pretty interesting. But let me get back to Married to Medicine. I think it was Part 2 that Andy mentioned to Mariah, you say you've forgiven Toya, but it doesn't seem that way. And I agree. It doesn't seem that way. You keep talking about the same thing over and over. Everybody that's looking at this video, let's be honest. Either we know someone that has done it, or we've been the one who have done this. We tell someone something and say, don't say anything, don't tell nobody I told you, and then that person unfortunately goes and tells somebody else, and it gets back to the person that you don't want to know that you've been running your mouth. Okay, that's what Toya did. She finally said she did it. She was wrong. I wasn't trying to be malicious towards Lauren, not trying to be malicious towards Aiden. I did it. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm sorry. And in one of the episodes, I think the second episode to the last one, or the very last episode of the season before the reunion show, they have that moment on the bus where Toya is saying, look, I'm sorry. They have that moment. It was emotional. I felt that it was real. And Mariah said something that I thought was pretty cool. She said, well, I'm sincere in accepting your apology. I'm sincere in forgiving you. But then now we pick up the crap all over again. But on the reunion show, you're still talking about it. You know, this little term that you and your friend got with the big forehead, shady boots, shady tree. Okay, it's like, give it up. Getting into the reunion and overall the show, I want to list in this order who I like. I know there's people out there that are going to throw shoes at me and say, Creative Hair Diva, what are you talking about? But I'm going to give my list, and I'm going to go through that list as I talk about the reunion, and I'm going to tell you why. In this order, Jackie, number 1. I'm a fan of Jackie. Simone, I guess. Kari, number 3. Believe it or not, Kari or Carrie, however you say her name, she is number 3 for me. Quad and Toya, I guess Quad, then Toya, Mariah, and then Mother Lucy. Mother Lucy, you're a hot mess. You're at the bottom of the list. You're next to your daughter where you should be because she's just like you, messy, very immature. Why is Jackie my number 1? On the reunion show, and even throughout the show, you didn't see a lot of Jackie, but whenever you saw her, she was always poised. Jackie is intelligent. And she really wants to bring to light that everyone, and let's not make this a black thing because white women clown too, but she wants to put out there are black women who are poised, who are intelligent, such as herself. She showed that in the Lemon Squeeze, and her way of trying to get people to own things, to talk about it without fighting and getting ugly. Applaud, 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 Jackie. That's why I can roll with you. You don't have a potty mouth. As you can see, I don't have a potty mouth. Well, those of you who be watching my videos, you'll see that I don't really get into all of that. It's not necessary, but I'm not against anyone that does. It's just not something that I like to do. So therefore, that's why I can roll with Jackie. She's my #1 person on the show. And you know what? By the way, I've been reading other vlogs, and that's what made me want to do this as well. People saying, oh, Jackie's so boring. She doesn't bring any drama. Well, you know what? Do we really need to have everybody on the show act like a 5-year-old? I think it's about time that we have a Jackie on the show. I do. Of all the shows that are out there, I look at all of them. I look at the Atlanta Housewives. I even look at the Beverly Hills one, which is pretty boring. I'm with Nene on that one. The Orange County show, that one's boring. I look at it, try to do something different. And I have to say that I'm glad that there is a Jackie that exists. I feel that Jackie is herself. Moving right along. Oh, and another thing. What really cemented for me with Jackie is when they talked about her cancer diagnosis, why she can't have children, and why she can't adopt. And that she's afraid to even try to adopt again because she doesn't want to hear no. I could see the emotion on all the ladies' faces. And I could see that at one point it looked like Toya wanted to kind of cry a little bit. Because it was sad. Here, Jackie had an opportunity to rip Mariah a new one. And she didn't. She said, I think that Mariah was passionate. And that's where the whole conversation of, you don't know what it is to be in my shoes, you don't know what it is to have children, and it wasn't out of malice, and we're still friends. I can't say I would have done the same thing. I don't know what I would have done, but I will say this, Jackie, you are #1 in my book. Moving right along, Simone. I'm not really crazy about the cast, period. So I'm just kind of listing as I have to go. Jackie's #1, Simone is #2. I feel like Simone owns her crap. I mean, and Simone really doesn't carry crap. Simone is Simone at the end of the day. She embraces the fact that she is, although she has children, she's not really into the mommy thing. She's into being a power woman. She's into her vodka. She's into keeping that pot belly. You go, girl. Own it. Own that pot belly. I love the accent, by the way, and Simone, you look like you're drunk half the time. Mariah does too. But anyway, I'm gonna roll with with Simone is #2 for me. Kari is my #3 choice, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think Kari has this. She has this foreign sense of humor that really isn't funny, but I get it. When Kari explained why her husband had this huge penis in front of Mariah, it wasn't because he was trying to hit on her. It was an awkward moment, and he made a joke about it and said, see what you do to me. I get the joke. I get the joke, and I can see, I really felt that Kari was being sincere and telling the truth about that. Mariah wanted to make it all about her. You know what? Shame on you, Mariah. But anyway, she wanted to make it all about her. I think Duncan probably is well endowed. I like the fact that Kari owned up about her lips. No, I don't think she's had work done. Her lips are not pretty. And she's even went as far as to say she's been made fun of because of her lips. And that there are several people in her family that have those lips. Nothing she can do about it. Then she has a scar, which makes it sticks out even more. So you know what? She wasn't running around with this, oh, my lips are this. I have these Angelina Jolie lips or whatever. She's like, look, my lips are ugly. I come from nothing. Mariah wanted to make a big stink of that. I understood the play of words here. I come from nothing. Mariah saying, okay, if you say you come from nothing, that's not something I would say. You shouldn't say something like that. Mariah, that's just how Kyrie is. That's how she talks. It's not a big deal. She could have easily sat there and said, oh, I'm an aristocrat, I'm this and I'm that. I think people listen to Kyrie's accent and they just automatically assume that she's some snob. I think Kyrie does that white woman thing very well. I said it. To me, she's charming. I like her. So I know a whole lot of people are going to probably cuss me out on this one. But that's okay. So I like Kyrie. She is who she is. Quad and Toya, they're both holding that 4th and 5th place really close to me. This is my thing. Toya, Quad, they're pretty much in the same spot to me. I'm not crazy about Quad, but I guess maybe I would take Toya over Quad. Well, maybe I'd take Quad over Toya. I think both of them I could take to a fight. And I think that Quad, being a loyal person as she is to Mariah for whatever reason. And this is why why Quad isn't at the top of my list like it is for most people that look at the show, at least from what I've read in the vlogs. On these YouTube videos, a lot of people say, I love Quad, I live for Quad, my thing with Quad is you're friends with Mariah. Mariah is so childish. She's just childish. Toya's messy, but I feel like Toya's like, okay, I admitted it, let's get over it. So to me, that was a saving grace for Toya. The saving grace for Quad is a very loyal friend. She was on Andy Cohen's What Happens Live, or What Happens Now, or Watch What Happens Live. There we go. And she said, we are one and the same, her and Mariah. That is my friend. She will not trash her friend. She will stand up for her friend. That is the saving grace for Quad, in my opinion. But Quad and Toya just couldn't make it up to the top of my list. Jackie is there, and nobody's going to knock off that list as far as I'm concerned. And I hope they keep Jackie on the show, if they have a second season. Moving on to Mariah. She's at the bottom of my list with her ratchet mother. I don't like Mariah. I don't like the way she conducted herself at the reunion part 1 and part 2. She just would not let this thing about Aiden not being Lauren's father, she wouldn't let it go. She said she forgave, but she kept picking it back up. It really worked my last nerve. I like the little thing that was hanging right here, the jewelry, the whole Bangladesh look. Quad is always the best dressed one out of all of them. Although I couldn't figure out why her pants were all the way down her butt on the bus. Anyway, that didn't quite make sense to me. But Quad is, for the most part, is the best dressed person on the show. So that's why she's a notch above Mariah, in my opinion. Quad is that loyal friend. Okay, Quad and Toya, they're together. Back to Mariah. It was really tacky how Mariah introduced Toya. I understand you don't like Toya. I understand you don't like Kyrie. And by the way, Mariah, why are you so upset with Kyrie? Because the police escorted you out of her house? First of all, Mariah was not there to witness the whole fight. If she did, she probably asked the police to escort you and Toya out, which would have been the fair thing. But because she didn't see it, and because Toya and Simone behind Toya going to the bathroom in your house, okay, you were out there standing around and your mother saying, I'm glad you beat up. I'm glad you did. I got me some licks in too. It just really showed how bad you look. You looked drunk when you showed up. You and your mama looked drunk. You too. The two of you look like you're drunk. I don't know, it's because you're not the most attractive women. And I understand some of you that's looking at this video saying, well, creative hair diva, I don't think you're that attractive. And that's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with anybody saying that. But the difference is I'm not on TV. I don't have my life out there for everyone to see. I'm not saying, oh, I have all this money. And you know what? if I had the money that Mariah says that she have, or the things that she says she says she has multiple business. Clap, 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 Mariah, good for you. You're not a Sheree Whitfield. You're doing it on your own, whether you stay with your husband or not. But can someone out there please tell me in YouTube land what is wrong with Mariah's hair? You got all this going on. You got this beautiful home, and I do think Mariah's home is charming. At least the yard is. It's very pretty. Why can't you get that weave dyed correctly? You know, being a hairstylist, we see everything. And you know, hairstylists, for the most part, we don't keep our hair together. But we look at everybody else's hair. And I feel like Mariah is going through that Mary J. Blige thing. Remember when Mary first came out? She wore a baseball cap, and then you would see on the cover of like Jive magazines, or, you know, I said Jive. Okay, I'm telling my age. You know, these little hair magazines, and she would have this jam on the side. Edge control, that's what they call it, to lay down them little, you know, little sides, you know. I'm natural, so it doesn't matter to me whether it's nappy or not. I just feel like with Mariah's attitude, the way she won't let stuff go, it's all about her. Okay, I see why Andy basically gave her the bulk of the question, because she brought that show together for Bravo. She brought the women together. I understand why she calls herself the Queen Bee. Queen Bee of what? Of nonsense? Queen Bee of foolishness? Then you got your girl on the couch with her little bag of trinkets. Delusional. She's a fraud. You know, that was just... I don't know. Then your mother comes out. And she looked like she's been working on the corner for many, many, many years. At least her weave is one color. It don't look right. Every older woman can wear long hair. I would be so embarrassed if my mother was on that platform with me, talking about, oh yeah, I called and asked and apologized and I forgive her. But then your mother picks up the nonsense all over again. And I understand this is about a child. But no, at the end of the day, Mariah, this is about you running your mouth off to someone who really wasn't your friend. You haven't known Toya long enough to tell her something like that. And let's again, as I said before, you know, we've all been in a situation, or we know someone, or we've been that person where we've said something we wish we had never said anything because we really didn't mean to create any harm, but nevertheless it happened because somebody's running their mouth about whatever. It is what it is. Get over it. You can forgive Toy, but you can't forgive Kyrie. Okay, that, you know, what did Kyrie do to you? That party was for your husband as well as hers. And you're upset that the security, and I'm glad that Kyrie straightened it up. I don't believe that Kyrie was lying. She said that they hired security, and they also hired security to defuse some things. So security's like, look, we called the police, you gotta go. And if I was security and I was hired by you, I would have done the same thing. The mother and some drag queen, some guy, some drag queen is there saying, yeah, that's what she get. You should have. That's good that you hit. I'm proud of you, baby. Oh my goodness. So I see where your apple tree that you roll from, Mariah. I mean, really, your mother's ratchet and you ratchet too. You queen bee of nonsense. So this is why I ranked everybody the way I did, and I put Mariah and her mother at the bottom of the list. They're crap starters. They look drunk half the time. It's all about them. I believe that they're insincere with their apologies. I think that Mariah was sincere with Jackie saying, I didn't mean to hurt you. To me, that was the only time I saw Mariah act like an adult, for that one moment on the reunion show. And Jackie accepted her apology and said, don't worry about it, we're still friends. Class act. Class act is all I have to say. Jackie's here. Mariah's here. Mother Lucy's even lower. And that's pretty much my surmise of the show, of the reunion. I liked it. It was very entertaining. Again, Andy Cohen, you do a great job conducting that forum. Hope there is a season 2, but then again, I don't know what you guys would talk about in season 2. I guess they would have to create nonsense around Kari and Mariah. Who knows? Or maybe Quad and Mariah can get into it. That would be interesting. I think Quad would win because she could snatch all that bad weave out your head and bring it over to me so I can dye it for you properly. Who knows? Or better yet, Mariah, let's get you a nice lace wig, a full lace wig that is dyed properly or has the colors that you're trying to get to, because I'm not feeling your personality. I'm not feeling your role on the show. I'm not feeling that horrendous weave you have on your head. It's just, you need to have it re-dyed. You need to do something with all this money you got, all this queen bee thing that you got going on. The queen bee need to have her hair together. You need to have it together. Quad looks the best on the show. She's by far the most attractive one on the show, and even Quad have her moments where that hairline is just it's way up here somewhere. That's the apex of my head. Her hairline starts about here, and I don't think she can help that. Or maybe her weave starts there, and there's been years of glue that have gone into her head and it's just pulled out this hairline that should be here, and then it's here, and then it's here. I don't know. But Quad looks the best, so that should tell you something. You mean to tell me Quad looks the best on the show? So that should tell you something. The fashion and the hair weave. And you know, I gotta say something about the hair because I'm creative hair diva, and that's what stylists do. We may not get our hair together all the time, but because we're always busy, but we're looking at everybody else's hair. So that is my review on Married to Medicine. Show was a little slow, picked up with the fight. Reunion, I loved it. The reunion was real messy and catty, and then it got redundant with Mariah's constant rant and her little sidekick up there putting up all these little signs. That was kind of interesting. But I want to talk about why I like, who I would hang out with, who I wouldn't. And definitely, again, Jackie is the person I would roll with. Mariah is my least favorite. So I will be putting up more videos reviewing, again, wigs, hair weave, shows, just random stuff. That's what I'm doing. I'm just doing this for fun, random stuff. Love to read the comments. I have pretty thick skin, so bring it on. See you next time, and this is Creative Hair Diva, and I look forward to putting up new videos, and I look forward to everybody comment. Take care. Bye-bye.